Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is a very old sounding gamer, 1745, with my continuing playthrough of, yes, Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. And we're going to be continuing here very shortly. We have been having problems with the political situation. It seems to be getting better. Yeah, okay, so that's a little too fast. There we go. Good clock speed. Okay, wow. Stuff popping up real fast. Twin engine fighter prototype, and turn research on that off for the moment. Dual purpose guns for ships, I think here under capital. We'll let them continue. And wings, aerodynamics, advance, as opposed to something else advancing, or an airplane. Okay. Doing okay on officers. March 39. Okay, we're getting ready for war here now. War. What is it good for? Okay. These are important because they reduce time between attacks, the delay. And it also gives us HQs. They're all going to be the same. Let's go for an armored HQ and motorized HQ. Now that we definitely are looking for the war coming up here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do just a few more standard infantry divisions. Artillery, anti-tank, reconnaissance, transport, headquarters. And this time, because things, yes. Yeah, I guess mixed support. Build as reserve. Gotta fix that one. There we go. Why war? Just do a peaceful playthrough. Sounds way more fun. Oh, Squire, the comedy channel that's pretty good, did a what if there was a peaceful playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 video just in the last few weeks. I don't know if you guys all watched it. And everybody ends up declaring war on Germany anyways and whatnot. So yeah, probably sort of need to go to war. Fighter bomber prototypes. And that's grayed out, and we'll move more over to here. Let's core HQs, we'll do that. Okay, we have a few decisions to make here that are useful. Bank for International Settlements. The Swiss wants their money, or in this case, supplies, for some money. So we'll do that. Form the 10th Panzer Division. So we'll do that 5 and 5.7% of ICs. And reorganize the Luftwaffe command structure. Guess what we want to do? We're going to form Luftfloat 4. Now let's come over here. So you know where things are here. Somewhat. We will attach that to the Luftwaffe command structure here. Oh, let's let this. I think some things may disappear there. Is it? Yeah. Okay. We will attach the flak command. I think really I'm going to Alt Tab over again. I know people that may be watching this later. For some reason, YouTube is just really screwing this up. Just nothing here. Even though it says in my studio that I've been live for almost 10 minutes. Oh, I do not know. Okay, we're back. Okay, continuing. Military police advance. I think this might be that one. We're going to reduce that down because it's useful, but this is a bit more important. Mountain unit training advance, and that is also here, and it's 1940, so we'll cancel that. Do some more of these over here. We'll do mountain HQs. What is IKB saying? Do you think that the Bank of International Settlements event should keep on going? The more supplies you make, the more you can get the event. No, there, for things like that, there, in my opinion at least, there really needs to be a limit on it because they are way too easy to abuse. So no, I don't think it should just be a rinse and repeat, or do it, keep doing it until you're, you know, run out of stuff. Exertion, I think, may be waiting for me to start on YouTube or something, but because he was trying to talk to me before starting this, but I brushed him off because I had to get this started. He wants to add or have added a few more events. He was talking yesterday about German industrial growth as regards, particularly he was talking with Austria, you know, Germany taking over Austria and Czechoslovakia. And events that cover that. Now, I don't know exactly what, and he said he did some research and got some stuff. And just to give a bit of design philosophy here, I'm not trying to make Germany easier to play. I know I have to keep saying that because there's a lot of things that boost Germany. I think that it could do with one more level of events above for the. Yeah. See, I think it's too much because I almost, you know, I don't even know that the event should be there in the first place, really. It's not that I'm hating on the event or anything, but I guess you would have to explain to me better what and why the Bank of International Settlements should have a significant effect on a game like this. I need to understand it better. I get the idea of it. I get that, the basics of it, I think. But I just don't get that it should be more of an impact, or it should have such a heavy impact. Okay, naval bomber technology, which is probably grayed out, yes. Okay, so we're doing that, and the other one is industrial zone organization. That is here, 1940. We can let that go. But we need to, okay, let's get that. And so, on the design philosophy, I have an event that I made early on in my development of the mod over Petra trucks. I actually found out about them, and they seem to be really good quality trucks, and I think they are still to this day. And they made them in the hundreds during German occupation of the Czechoslovakia, and put that in perspective, Germany made about 30,000 of the Kübelwagons, the German Jeep, if you will, during the war. Now, to put that in perspective, I think it was the United States made 400,000 Jeeps. Okay, Germany 30,000 Kübelwagons. Sounds like a lot. It is. America, I think, does 400,000 Jeeps. So, and the Jeeps are a little more technically advanced, I would say. 4-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive, things like that. So, and so making a in the hundreds of trucks for Germany is helpful, and they're rather good, well-designed truck. And there's actually some design improvements along it. Maybe it gets into the low thousands, but Germany really doesn't exploit it much. They're mostly for the war production. They're 3-axle truck with the 2 rear axles on drive. So they're really good for the Eastern Front as trucks go, compared to a lot of the the Opel Blitz and whatnot are 2-axle trucks. So they're really good trucks. So I made an event that cost you some resources and supplies and whatnot, basically, if you will, ICs, to say, well, hey, we want to expand Tatra truck factories and production to give more trucks to the Wehrmacht, and that was an option, and you could do that, and it gives a little bonus, but there's a cost to it. But I didn't intend the cost to be entirely equal to the cost of building a new industry, because there was already industry there, and I think it's more here, which now I don't know if these 3 here just exactly where the factory should be, but so I a chance to expand the factories a little bit at a little cost. So yeah, that is making Germany a little easier to play, and that you get a cheap IC or 2, forget exactly what it is, and it just sort of worked. Let's move this over to torpedo boat. And so it's a little bonus. It's meant to be sort of historically based. What if, what if you expanded the already working factories, partially expanded it just by manpower, because you can keep the same amount of production machinery and just run it 24/7, if you will, by adding more labor to it, more work shifts. And Tatra Trucks doesn't want to talk about this today, I'm sure, but it was in the, I think it was German-speaking owned company, if you will, and a lot of the workers were German, but modern Tatra wants to, oh, we're Czech. Yeah, you were in Czechoslovakia, but it sort of kind of seems as much German as it was Czech. Sort of a mixed company, before the German takeover. So, yeah, light bomber prototypes, that should be grayed out. Yep. And medium bomber prototypes also grayed out, which we're going to now come over here. Okay, we've got these that are efficiently researchable. Now here we got a lot of stuff we want to be researching as well. Well, every unit just about has reconnaissance elements, so we'll get to reconnaissance elements going. And so if you can show a similar idea and thing where you could, in a very practical sense, expand production, and that was something that was there and real, and it's researched, and you don't think it's well modeled in the current game, I'd be very happy to consider adding it to the to Third Reich events. Gun ability, twin engine needs advance. That would be not here. It would be over here. Okay. We're going to come back to here, and we're going to go with artillery. And it also needs to be something that you can provide some very interesting graphics to add to it. I don't want to do that. Let's reduce this down somewhat. Because part of my storytelling ability for Third Reich events, a big part of it is the graphical element. I don't want an event that doesn't have an image, and I don't want to just use a generic, like an industrial symbol or something, a picture of the same factory over and over and over again. I need logos and pictures of period pictures of the factory, small warship, anti-submarine warfare advances. Okay, we'll do this at beta boat classes, because we are still doing some ship development. And so if you can make it an interesting tale with a graphic image and a little bit of a, paragraph or so, not too big of a paragraph, a few sentences, make an interesting story, and model history reasonably well, I'm good with that. Another event I make is the Mercedes command cars. The again, 6-axle ones. I forget the model numbers. Hey, Beam Slam, how you doing here? Yeah, it just does not seem to be wanting to go on YouTube, even though it's there, because everybody's here on Twitch. I'm waking up and going slow, but otherwise it's going well. So, okay, good. We can put more things in production, which I think we're going to do some more fighters. So the command cars, okay, good. We got that coming. The big Mercedes ones, I always thought were cool as a kid. And these are, the things that carry like 7 people, really nice. Hitler orders like 1 or 2 of them. He has a bunch of the smaller ones. One of the was ordered and sent to Franco as a a gift, and that's still around. And so they make, you know, I think less than 100 of these things historically. But I always thought they were cool. They tried to sell them to the army, and the army goes, "Yeah, they're really nice, but they're really expensive." So, we need more escorts. What's our escort production look like? I think we could do not enough convoy. Well, I don't know, it's enough, but we have convoys. So let's run another convoy here. We'll get that going. Armored Spearhead Advance. So they said no to these cool cars. So I made an event that allows you to decide to dump a bunch of resources into expanding the Mercedes-Benz factory to build these command cars that would just not even a full mile per hour, but for the standard HQs, you're not the ones that have cool logos, because those are now unique, but would slightly speed them up, as if, you know, more motorized core HQ, if you will. So, and it's a one-off thing. Oh, and the Tatra truck also, again, just teeny little bit. Now, those two events combined get it like a half a mile or half a kilometer hour, mile per hour, whatever it is in the game, faster. Command HQ for movement for the game. But that could be something that could be very abused if you do too much of it. Okay, so we have Armored Spearhead. We're doing that. I guess we're just going to continue to get some of the basics here. But I fell in love with World at War, discovered a really nice new version on Vassal, so considering picking it up. Oh, World in Flames. Oh, the board game? Yeah. Or do you have the computerized version of World in Flames? I know the game. I've never played the game. Civil Defense. Okay, that is here. Home front focus. Logistical warfare focus. Okay, which we are currently working on. I thought we were currently working. Oh, we need to work. That get these to 3 for that. I see a bit more supply transfer. I think we're going to skip this for the time being. Let's continue down here. Most units have a direct fire element. And ground, better ground control events. Hello, Stalin boy. We're going to let that one continue. Right, okay, well, we can build even more stuff. So we got some escorts coming, more ships coming. Let's do a couple more squadrons of submarines. And some more fighter protection. advance. Right. Okay. Radar for cruisers or capital ships. Yeah. That's sort of critical if we actually intend to use them in battle. I do think of what I do as game design, and since you're changing things in a not just in a cosmetic version in the game, because obviously, yeah, hey, knock yourself out if you want to change the look of the counter insignias, or you want to change something else that doesn't change materially the way the game is played. But when you're changing the way the game is played, you need to deal with the potential imbalancing of the game. And I don't look at the balancing as in fairness, but balance towards what I understand is historical. Fractured government. Hopefully help us with some of this stuff. Okay, we have more fighters coming. We want to make sure we rule the skies. We have a modest amount of bombers. We have some of these. Let's add 2 regular transports. Keep the supplies moving via the air. Ammunition capacity advance. For fighters, I believe. Yes. I'm trying to keep a reasonably well balanced production. I'm not necessarily thinking I'm achieving that goal, but that's what I'm trying to do. And it's partially going on instinct for sure. Okay, well. Yes, I'm mostly used to playing with ERE and all of its elements. Thinking about, as you can tell here, doing some garrison forces to help hold the ports. Let's see, rocket artillery costs 180. 220. Okay, just so you understand, generally speaking, and I don't know how it's been tweaked in this version, but rocket artillery is cheaper than regular artillery. We can see this does 28 damage, or 20 damage, and this does 28 damage. So it does more damage, and it's cheaper. But what it does do is when you actually use it in combat, it uses a lot more supplies. But if you're not using it, meaning you're just parking it somewhere, it doesn't use a whole lot of supplies. So I look at that as a good sort of port garrison type, for occupying France and other other ports, you know, Norway, whatever. So having a bunch of these things here can definitely be a help. They're fairly cheap. Okay, seen the radar. Yeah, let's look at the radar here. Did I? Okay. The more you can spread radar out, you know, by putting them in multiple provinces, but the more you concentrate it, is the bigger it is based out of that province. So, yeah, okay, we have. Where did we put radar up here? Okay, we're building one in Königsberg. I think this would still be useful because building it here gets us a better look into France before the war starts, but also helps. Yeah, I think I probably should put one here in Wuppertal, just because it will cover the surrounding provinces for better effect. Intercept bombers. So we'll get all of those in production soon. Ours are full. Okay, we're getting now we're getting better. We're still at low popularity, but once we get out of low popularity, I think we'll be able to rise our national unity up. I think we'll keep this current government now. Well, let's look at Minister of Science. I don't know, technical specialist, I guess, maybe research specialist. Gonna cost lots of money. It already does. Rare materials. I don't have a good handle on these. On what I should be doing. They give different bonuses, not just the ones you see there, but bonuses to different specialty buildings. Yeah, we can use the more forces up in East Prussia. There we go. Deploy the radar station here. And it's just starting to deploy. This one should be the level 1 full function, doing its. The Bismarck is launched. What a fine ship. Okay. I think it's straight naval units. There we are. BB Bismarck. Okay. Hamburg. Okay, well, let's move it out to Wilhelmshaven. Hopefully it doesn't scratch the paint because it's currently only made of paint. Okay, that to the main fleet. I don't really... Scharnhorst and Eisenhower should be battle cruisers. Don't know exactly. I'm going to call them BBs. Don't know exactly how they're categorizing things. Special Forces, Combined Arms, Advance, which I think is down here, and we're going to stop that. All right. Infantry unit next. You would like to see how the World War would unfold with the updates done in this version. As far as I understand, there are some... Yeah, there are some supply changes. No. Rail terminuses. That, I think, is the main change is this building. And I'm not exactly sure how it all works. You know, they've dumbed down would be a way to describe a lot of what they've done with Hearts of Iron 4, but it's not entirely. Not everything is dumbed down. We can form the horse vessel squadron. So it's not all dumbed down, but it is streamlined. It's changed and such. So don't like their direction entirely, but a lot of us really wished we could manually handle supplies. Like, if I'm going to order X amount of supplies to this hex from Berlin and send it out here and get it sent, be able to manually to the supplies. But no, there's no way to even do that. And obviously, like I'm saying, the way they're going is to make it even less beginnable, but that would be helpful. Let the AI handle most of the stuff, but where you find that it's not doing it, that you could just go in and do it yourself. Order supplies being sent somewhere in an amount. And it takes the time that it takes to get there. Well, we're going to end the episode, not the live stream, everyone, so you guys can just hang loose that are here. But we're going to be ending the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos if you would. If you haven't already, which many of you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. See you next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron.